Once again, the RB21 seems to have been a very big handful to have dealt with for both Yuki and especially Max. He didn't seem to make much of an impression in terms of the pace wasn't really there for him. He then went on lap 11, I believe, onto the hard tyre. He then had an issue with his pit box. The green light didn't show, so it was an automated thing. It's a sensor, so it should go off automatically. It didn't go off. Max was saying on lap 18, I've got no tyre grip at all. On lap 23, Max was radioing in saying, I can't even brake anymore. It's ridiculous. So even more brake issues. They replaced his brakes ready and ahead of the Grand Prix, and still he seemed to have a lot of issues with him. Lap 27, he decides to pit, but he has a slow pit stop as his right front tyre didn't seem to want to come off, and he went on to the mediums, but he had a 6.2 second pit
hard
stop.
to watch.
Seeing a 6.2, I felt sorry for Max. I mean, what else could he do, for God's sake?
He then didn't pit underneath the safety car, I'm assuming because Red Bull were too scared.
Yeah, fair.
Now, there is a rumour that's going round that currently after this race in Bahrain, there is an emergency meeting amongst some of the top figureheads in Red Bull to be talking about their lack of performance.
Max is fired next.
But there is talk that they are having basically an emergency meeting. Do Red Bull need to win the championship for themselves or to keep Max?
Ooh. So there is the obvious rumour going around that maybe he's got his eye on Aston Martin next year. Obviously, we knew that this was a possible talking point with the fact that Adrian Newey has gone over to Aston Martin and actually has a bed in their factory so that he doesn't have to go home. I mean, there is absolutely no work-life balance there.
I was going to say, whilst the rest of the world are like, we like working from home, Adrian's like, my work is home.
So obviously there was the rumour since Japan that maybe he's going there because they are going to have a Honda engine next year.
Max also didn't like the way that the team dealt with Liam Lawson. He didn't want him to leave the team, and he didn't get listened to about that. And realistically, in this situation, they should be keeping Max happy. And a performance like this with Max Verstappen, where he kind of said everything went wrong, I think that the fact they're having an emergency meeting now is not just because the championship is slipping away from them, but their champion might be slipping away from them.
Yeah, they're shook.
I think that Max could be triggering his performance clause in his contract, because lots of drivers will have a performance clause where if a team has gone from winning championships to being fifth, then they can say, yeah, I'm triggering my performance clause because you guys aren't able to give me a race-winning car and I'm going to leave. Could Max be maybe thinking about wanting to trigger that clause? Because he only wants to win, and currently that is not happening.